Dude, you can't expect somebody when you tell them how it is to just believe you. You're a used car salesperson. Okay? What you need to do is learn how to pre-frame and get them to tell you how it is, and all you got to do is agree with them. You see how that works?
Yeah.
I'm serious though. Do you really all this? You really see how it works?
Yeah. When they're saying it, they have the conviction because it's coming from them.
But you understand how to do it.
I think so. It's something that I still obviously need to keep working.
Do it right now with me.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Hockenheimer. If you went down, say, some big name dealership, corporate, got 350 locations across the country, do you think every single vehicle coming onto their lot goes right up in the front line, they don't turn a wrench on that?
Well, no, obviously they go through it.
Right. Logically, when somebody goes and trades in their vehicle, which is a lot of what's coming in, any used vehicle has been owned and traded in somewhere by somebody. Yeah. So if they're coming in, trading that in, putting yourself in their shoes, would you put new tires on it, new brakes, fix everything mechanically just to go?
No, I get it. They got to go through them. It makes perfect sense. They got to prep them and recondition them before they sell them. I don't understand what's the point.
Well, no. So let me ask you then. Which would you prefer out of two options? One is you go into a dealership, the vehicle's already had that wrench turned. You have no idea what has been done to that vehicle. What you see is what you get. And then whatever limited info is on Carfax, sure, but you don't know what's been done. Or you walk into a dealership, you get to see the vehicle for what it is, the condition it came into the dealership, get a solid idea of what condition it was in under the previous owner before you, and then have something on paper.
Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. That actually makes sense. But I can't drive it. Do you want to test drive a car before you buy it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I get where you're coming from. You're still going to get to test drive it when you come to pick it up. But you gotta.
Yeah, but before I commit to buy something, I'm gonna want to drive it first, man. Like, I don't even know how a Dodge Ram drives.
I understand that. We've got other Dodge Rams here. If it's just wanting to get a feel for how the vehicle drives.
Pre-frame it. Let me ask you a question. Do you think all Dodge Rams drive wildly differently, or do you think that they all drive relatively similar, aside from maybe what tires and brakes are on?
So let me ask you a question. Do you think every single Dodge Ram, the driving is completely different on each one, other than, if it's got more aggressive tires on one, that kind of thing, it could change it up a little bit. But beyond that, would you agree that most Dodge Rams are going to drive, one V8 Hemi is going to drive the same as another V8?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, they would probably drive similar. So what are you saying? Drive another Ram?
Yeah, we've got 5 other Rams right on this lot, similar years, similar make, basically exactly the same truck. This is the truck you want. You want to experience the V8 Hemi before you buy it. Completely understandable. I'm the same way. I like to know what I'm buying. To be honest with you, I kind of like things that are fast. So I like to be able to feel it. So, with that said, if you liked the way that a Dodge Ram drove, and you had to guarantee something on paper that this Dodge Ram is going to drive just the same as the one right next to it after it goes through our shop, would that be something you'd be willing to consider? Take this blue Ram out for a drive, get a feel for it, and then we'd have everything on
You'd put it in writing.
Yes, sir. Put it right at the bottom of your purchase agreement. I will personally sign my name right next to it with my name printed and dated underneath, with a guarantee that if you come back to pick up this vehicle, and by some, astronomical absurdity, that vehicle is not what we've promised to you, I'll hand you back your deposit, and I would encourage you to run away.
But I understand what you're saying. I appreciate it. But who determines if it drives right or wrong? You got to pre-frame it, okay? Mr. Customer, let me ask you a question. Are you going to come back here and try to find reasons to back out? Back me in the corner.
Let me ask you, sir. If we do everything that we promise we're going to do, when you come back here, are you going to be looking for reasons to back out?
No, I want to make sure that the vehicle drives the way it's supposed to drive. I mean, that's all. But I don't want somebody saying that, it drives like the other one when it clearly doesn't. Go to our reviews.
Okay. Sir, let me ask, this is a bit of a weird question. Have you been on Google at all and kind of looked into our reviews and what we're rated at?
That's part of the reason I'm here. Yeah, you guys are rated pretty well in comparison to local used car dealers.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Pre-frame it. Yes. Go.
Alrighty. So let me ask you: do you think that those thousands of people, because we have thousands, hundreds of people, do you think that those hundreds of people took the time out of their day to type those reviews up because they came back and picked up the vehicle and they weren't happy to drive it, or they weren't happy with how it drives? Or do you think that they took the time, the valuable time out of their day to stop on Google, leave a review, type something out? You know, some of these people write entire essays on there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, some people write an entire essay with the bad reviews too. I noticed that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're a used car dealership, so there's always going to be the negative review. But if you take the time to actually read through those negative reviews, you're going to see a very common trend. It's going to be somebody who bought a vehicle a couple years back. Time comes and it needs some maintenance. They bought it, 100-something thousand miles. They drove it for a few years, put a couple tens of thousands.
Yeah, I understand. I did notice that there was some people, a year after, 2 years after they left a bad review. That's not fair. That's fair. Now say, did you see one review where someone said I was forced into buying this vehicle because they wouldn't give me my deposit back? Ask me that.
Have you seen any reviews talking about anybody who was forced into a vehicle who wasn't happy with it simply because they felt trapped or didn't get their deposit back?
That's good, Ricky. No, in fact, I didn't. Actually, it seemed like everybody that was a good review was pretty happy, and the ones that were a bad review, some of your owner's responses are pretty comical. I think he can be childish at times, but it's obvious that he's frustrated that they're being unrealistic in their expectations. So, no, I haven't, in fact, seen that.
So let me ask you that. Just based off not having seen that, you've seen people on there that bought a vehicle 3 years ago and are complaining that it needs new brake pads.
Yeah.
Don't you think,
You don't even need to go there. You don't even need to go there. I gave you what you wanted. Move, okay? You get what I'm saying? You don't need to keep tilling the soil. Like, I gave you what you wanted. Move. Now, move to strike. Move to strike.
All right, so let me ask you, if hundreds of people are saying we've done what...
Stop. Get off the reviews. You're done with it. Like, once you get what you need, I validated you. I said, yep, I saw the good reviews. I didn't see anybody that said that there was a bad review. And I even agreed with you that, yeah, most of the people that left a bad review are scrutinous assholes that have unrealistic expectations. I gave you what you wanted. You need to learn when to move on. Okay? Don't say filler stuff. It'll crush you. Okay? You'll take all the credibility you just built and you'll bash it into the ground. Move to strike. Say what you want to say.
So let me ask you, Mr. Lunkenheimer, we've already, kind of established that if everything was on this truck was perfect, when you came in here and looked at it today, you would be willing to buy, correct?
If everything was perfect and I had seen it that way, yes.
Okay. So with us giving you the guarantee on paper, everything's signed, you have it out if we don't follow through with what we're promised that we're going to do. What is it that's holding you back still?
Like I said, I would want to drive it.
Okay.
You just left me open-ended. You handed the gun back to me.
Right.
You got to stay in control, okay? So, Ricky, let me ask you a question. It sounds like you said that if this vehicle was 100%, you would have bought it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you showed up, it wasn't 100%. But we've just logically walked through the fact that when you come back to pick it up, if you did engage, that it would be 100%. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you buy a vehicle, it's going to take a couple days for it to get ready, regardless. So you're either going to take a couple days to get ready, have driven it when you started, or take a couple days to get ready, having driven it at the end. Which, frankly, I'd probably rather drive it right before I walked away with it than I would have a week in between for something to happen to it. Would you agree?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So why don't we just get it done? Let's work the numbers. Let's see if it makes sense. You drive another Ram. Do you really want to spend another 3-4 afternoons at car dealers doing all this? I mean, do I seem like the kind of guy that wants to take your pants from you and hurt you?
No, you seem like you've been pretty logical so far.
I would tend to agree with you, and I appreciate you calling that out. So why don't you just do business with somebody who understands things aren't perfect, but can help you get to the other side and problem solve? Because, sir, at some point you're probably going to need maintenance. Something's probably going to arise. You probably want to do business with a place that can solve the problems for you. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, that sounds right. Let's do it.
So let's save you some time. Let's go look at the truck.
All right, let's do it.
Bang, done. Okay? You got to know when you got what you need and be able to move the hell on and get out of there. Okay? You got to understand, man, getting to premium money in the car business isn't just about closing deals. It's about knowing that you can close the deal in 30 minutes instead of 3 hours and 30 minutes and then pack 2 more deals in.